This is my wife, AJ, and along with our 4 kids, we run Holsinger Homeplace Farms. We're pretty lucky. The kids are the 10th generation on this family farm that was originally purchased in 1773. 72 acres here on what we call the home place. The silvopasture we put in, we took what was continuous grazing of 72 acres, and we split it up and didn't have shade or windbreak for our animals. And so we have built what people call silvopasture, a 2-story agriculture, where we utilize trees as an additive for our farm, both as a forage source or a fodder source, windbreak, shade, as well as creates a microclimate underneath those trees. My kids are the 10th generation on the farm, and we want to put together a system that we can pass on to hopefully our grandkids down the road. The Silvopasture, a book by J. Russell Smith called Tree Crops, and it talked about utilizing different types of trees in agriculture to provide secondary sources, not just wood, but also black walnut as a food source, or pecans. We use locust trees, honey locust, black locust. The pods off of honey locust are high in sugar, or the leaves off of black locust. The cattle love them, and ultimately we're a major food source for us for probably almost a month this year. After I read the J. Russell Smith book, I reached out to some of my more studied partners, NRCS, Virginia Cooperative Extension, and Virginia Tech, and asked about it. Being able to look online, I saw that Missouri had cost share for implementing silvopasture down at Virginia Tech. They were interested in trying to figure out how we in Virginia could try it. I believe that I was the first cost share of taking existing pasture to implement silvopasture. And we planted both hardwoods and pines. The pines are what we call trainer trees. Their job is to grow tall and straight and quick to force your hardwoods into a better form and factor. The biggest piece is that it takes management. The trimming of the trees, the management of keeping the fence lines up and things like that. CREP, Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program, was the first opportunity for a partnership. By us renting our property to the federal government, they helped us with some funding of other needs because we no longer had the stream. So they helped us get watering sources for the cattle. They put up cross fencing. Part of this project was also the Chesapeake Bay Water Initiative. I don't know how new farmers are able to make it financially happen, and CREP was probably the way we were able to do it.
Specifically, it was the only way we would have been able to do it at that time. And then that relationship you described with NRCS really propelled us into other projects. Continuing to plant trees is where we want to be. We want to try different species, and in the very long term, I hope that we have instilled an appreciation for the farm with our children, and I hope to see how many species we can bring back. Watching the farm regenerate, it was not managed this way when we took it over. Now, I remember the first time we saw marsh grass come back in the intermittent stream, and there are bird species that weren't here before. Every practice that we can do that is regenerative in farming, really, it's not only good for the planet, but it's good for our bodies too, and the food we put in it.
When we fly into Baltimore, every time, I can pick out this farm because of the trees. Wait.
You guys put
Wait,
Mo to
nobody
sleep.
asked a question that I can feel that I am the eye candy of the farm, okay?
Oh, sweet man, you are the eye candy.